Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is a scene for Sept of the Howling Wind, a War of the Apocalypse game set in San Diego. So Jesse is basically just kind of he's bored and he's not got really anything else to do today as Erica is kind of on holiday break. He's not teaching or anything right now, and he's done his duties for the day, and he's done all his den fathering. So he basically goes and knocks on Andrea's door just to see what she's up to.
Inside the room comes a yes.
It's just me.
Oh, come in.
I'll step in.
She gets up off of where she's sitting on her, what do you call it, bed, reading something. And she comes over to Jesse and gives him a hug.
I'm gonna scoop her up playfully and spin her.
She goes, woo!
What you doing?
I was just doing some here. She points and there's a archaeological journal that she's borrowed from the school library.
Kind of pick it up and without losing her page, flip through it for a moment. Kind of look at it like, whoa, no, too many big words. Put it back down.
She kind of snorts. She's like, that's fine. It's not everybody's cup of tea.
I appreciate you
I'm
for
just
being
a huge nerd. Well, thanks.
I'm more of the living tale and music type.
That's fine. Some news for you.
Oh my.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so you know how I was potentially interested in joining your pack?
Yes.
I have decided to join another pack.
Yes. I'm glad for you.
Yeah?
Of course.
It's the one led by Strikes with Lightning.
Oh my. But Black Furies and Shadowlords tend to get along a lot. But he'll not.
I think that will have a good balance, actually. I mean, she and I may not exactly be 100% like-minded, but I think that well enough aligned that it won't be a problem. Plus, we both have some kind of affinity towards lightning. I mean, I may not have a spiritual affinity towards it as far as I know, but I do have. She points to the axe.
I'll look at it and smile. I'm glad you found a place.
I'm glad too, and I mean, I think I can learn a lot from them. I still will want to run with you and my tribe sisters sometimes, just to do, I don't know, I mean, maybe not hack stuff, but like maybe like lore nerd stuff, you know?
He'll kind of playfully sink her fingers into her hair and like scruffle it and press his forehead to hers, and he's like, relax. You're okay.
Sorry, I just didn't want you to feel like I was rejecting your pack by choosing another.
I am not that.
I just think
he'll just shake his head like, nope, don't worry.
Good. I just feel like, I mean, while it would be great to have a lot of Black Furies in one pack, I just was thinking logistically, you already have a full moon, and Strikes with Lightning's pack didn't, and I thought that if I joined, then we could have a complete pack of every auspice. Well, assuming we can get the Ragabash to join.
He'll slip his shoes off. He's wearing like Vans, and he'll flop on her bed and kind of flip it like put his hands behind his head. Which one?
Which one? What?
Which Ragabash?
Oh, well, I don't know many of the other Ragabashes. I was just thinking Stevie was there, and I think, and then she gets like really excited, and she's like, and I think she's a big deal, and she doesn't even know it.
I heard about that. I think
Yeah.
maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
So let me ask you a question. Is
Okay.
there a lost tribe of the Americas?
Yes.
Because okay, I think she's got something to do with that because of the turtle thing. I don't know. It's just a guess, but it just seems really weird that
Well,
turtles just kept showing up near her. That's got to be spiritually significant. Talks faster and faster as she gets excited.
it's called the Croatan.
Oh, why
They
does
were
that sound familiar?
they're the middle tribe in the original three. He'll air quote Pure Land tribes. It was Octana, Croatan, and Wendigo. Croatan was
Oh, okay, that's cool.
but some of their kin survived their sacrifice. They were adopted into mostly the Octana.
That makes sense then.
Well, you don't.
Uh,
She probably has blood descended from Croatan. It's not. It's rare, but it's not unheard of.
okay, so this isn't that weird then.
It's not. I don't want you to. I'm not trying to. What I'm trying to say is that it's not like some sort of a sign or something like that, or some sort of a cataclysmic event. But it's not something
Okay, that's fair.
that's that's not worth merit. You know,
Cool. Yeah.
it's special.
Uh, so, do you know what happened to the Crojan?
They sacrificed themselves to stop the Eater of Souls from gaining ground in America. They fed themselves to the Eater of Souls.
Oh, that's dang. Hold on a second. Hmm. So, does that mean that their tribal totem was sacrificed too?
There is debate about that. There are some that say that it was. There are some that say that it wasn't. There are some that say that it's become lost. There are some that say that the Croatan will turn in the end times. That they'll be back
So maybe.
most.
Hmm. So this, if okay. Yeah.
What I'm saying is that most likely Stevie has something available to her, but she has to choose if she does anything with it. It's not enough just to be born with Croatan blood. It's like being born with White Howler blood. It doesn't mean nothing. You have to make something of it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Because you need the spiritual support of the tribe if you want to be a member of that tribe.
Well, yeah, and unfortunately,
Without totems, you know.
unfortunately, sometimes things are just lost. I mean, the fact of the matter is I don't think the White Howlers are ever coming back from what happened because I don't think people realize the Spirals didn't steal the White Howlers from us. The White Howlers chose to become Spirals.
She looks a little disgusted and sad. She's like, dang.
Oh, then you got like the
That's no
Bunyip.
good. They're what? The Bunya?
The Bunyip. They got. Do you know about them?
No, I don't. I don't think so.
He'll pat the bed, as in come over, Summer Child.
She stops pacing and then she sits down and like scooches close to him and like holds him.
The Bunyip were a tribe native to Australia. and they were comprised of their kin were the what do you call them? The thylacine, Tasmanian tiger.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. And they were very fierce, but they were very shy. They didn't like to come out of their seps very much. Their Karens. The worm poisoned the minds of the Red Talons and the Shadow Lords in Australia. Made them think that the thylacine, the bunyip, had fallen. And so they hunted him down to one, killed them all. They said that when the last bunyip died, you could hear the scream across the Umbra, across the world.
I would imagine so, because from what I know about the indigenous people of Australia, they're very connected to the spiritual world, and I would think the bunyip would be the same.
Mm-hmm. Their tribal totem pulled away into the dream time, hasn't been seen since. It was Rainbow Serpent, the Great
Oh my
River.
God.
Mm-hmm. Very similar to our tribe. Actually, the bunyip were very, very similar to the Atena. Actually, there was some who thought that the bunyip and the Atena were the right and left hand of the same tribe.
That makes sense.
But then there are also some people who think the same thing about the Nuisha.
I mean, not everything has to be binary, I suppose.
I mean, that's what I say. He'll shrug like, ah.
She snorts.
But then there was them. The White Howlers, they fell. Became the Black Sparrows. The Croatan fell. Their tribe lost us. And then the Bunyip. Those are the lost tribes.
Hmm.
There was something else, but it's not really a lost tribe so much as it is a. He'll kind of scratch his head and he's thinking. You know, like the Sebarak and things like that? And the Kuchikindu and things?
She shakes her head.
Sebarak are they're a tribe of, well, they're an offsuit, kind of like a sub-tribe. That's Silverfang. They live in Siberia. This man has Gary Lore 4, by the way, that's why he's able to do this. But he says they're an offshoot of the Silverfang. It's said that they're Silverfang and the ancient people of the Wendigo before they come over, you know, on the land bridge.
Hmm.
I can't remember who they follow. I think they follow Sable. Like that little animal, little stoat. I don't know. I think.
They're cute, but vicious.
Yeah. So there was a thing like that called the Los Infelizo. And they were all twisted. I think they may have been all metis. I think that's what it was. I'm not sure, but they were back up in the days when people were going out west, you know, here in America.
Huh. Interesting.
They came off of the Shadow Lords, I think. Or the Furies. It may have been like a Shadow Lord Fury thing. I can't remember. Tiny little fucking spit of a camp.
She snorts. She's like, well.
Thingy.
Well, I take it they didn't last into the modern day then.
No!
They weren't.
His head like, no.
I suppose it's just one of those moment in history kind of things where the right conditions existed for them to exist and then went away. Kind of like the Wild West itself.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
You know who scares the hell out of me, though, right?
I don't know.
He'll hold her a little bit closer. And he'll say, skin dancers.
Her brows furrow. She's like, what's that?
You don't know about skin dancers?
I barely know anything about the Guru. I haven't spent much time with our people, much to my now regret.
Let your Galliard den father do his job. And
go for it.
He'll kind of roll them over, and he'll rest his chin on like her tummy, as it were, basically, kind of like looking up at her. And he'll say the skin dancers were the followers of Sam Haight. Sam Haight was, of all things, a child of Gaia kinfolk, actually. And his daddy wanted nothing more than to have a Garu child. He had about 3 or 4 kids, numbers lost in time. None of them came out Garu.
That's toxic.
Yeah, well, Sammy here, he always wanted to make his daddy happy. Came football champion, smart as a fucking whip. One of those types, you know what I mean? One of those all-American types. It was never good enough for his daddy because he wasn't Garu.
Of course.
But dark forces spoken to Sam Haight's ear and told him that there was a way, an ancient ritual, to become Garu. For kinfolk to become Garu.
That sounds like, I don't know, that just sounds really suspicious to me.
Oh, no. It is, but let me tell you. Sam Haight, he became the Skinner. You see, the thing is for the rite of sacred birth to work, you need the skin of 5 Krynos Garu. Which means you need to skin them while they're still alive.
And to that, you need a silver knife, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm. So he managed to get himself so effective at fighting Garu that that man could take down a Garu and skin them while they were still alive.
That's disgusting.
And then he got his 5 skins and undertook the ritual and became Garu.
But obviously some kind of twisted fucking mockery of a Garu. I mean, that couldn't have even turned him into, like, the genuine thing.
Oh, no, Andrea. It makes a Garu.
It's surely not a Gaian one, at least?
No, he did, but he taught others how to make themselves into this, too. I think they follow Minotaur. You can tell sometimes. You can tell because their fur is mottled. It's patchy. They'll have bits of white here, a flash of red over here. Now there are some skin dancers who've realized the wrongs of their ways and have tried to redeem themselves, come to Gaia, to determine Erebus, things like that. You know what I'm saying? And there is no possible way. Oh my God, I have heard people say, but I did it ethically. There is literally no way to perform the rite ethically. First off, it requires the fat of a baby. What you gonna do? I heard this one guy say that he was given his skins by 5 Garu who chose to sacrifice. He'll just shake his head like that bullshit drives him crazy.
Yeah, that I can't really see that flying. I mean, okay, maybe if they were all about to die of old age or something, and they're like the favorite grandson, I guess, but it still seems really, really fucking unlikely to me.
They'll shrug and say the problem is the ritual itself is what's tainted, what's corrupted.
So regardless of how you do it, it's fucked. Which makes sense, because the idea is fucked.
It's like, no matter how much you want, you're not going to be able to follow Whippoorwill without being wormish, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
You cannot perform the rite without it being corrupted. It's not even like a Worm Weaver Wild thing. It's just, it's wrong. It's bad. There's no justification for
it. Yeah. It's just one of those things that's inherently against the nature of Gaia. And
No, I ain't saying those what took that path are irredeemable and need to be destroyed. If I met a Garu, I knew that it'd come through by being a skin dancer. If they truly were penitent, maybe did a term in Erebus, and were willing to devote themselves to Gaia, he'll hold his hands up. Who am I to judge?
I guess neither of us are Philodoxes, so not us.
I think part of being a good Philodox is realizing when and when not to judge, and when to judge on the side of that which promotes growth.
That's reasonable.
I don't like to think that anything is irredeemable.
No. Hmm. I mean, admittedly, I don't have super strong feelings on that. Like, I'm just not sure. Like, maybe things are and maybe they aren't. I'm not a redeemer, so it's not my aim to redeem things. I just want to uncover the past, I guess.
He'll stretch, and flop next to her and yawn.
You getting sleepy there, dear?
No.
Oh, am I boring you?
No, I'm afraid I'm boring you, though.
Of course not.
I gotta go check on some stuff in a little bit, but it's not right now.
Okay.
Just don't let me stay here all night chit-chatting with you and playing with your hair and being silly.
Spending time with you.
So can I ask you a really obvious question?
Sure.
Are you albino?
Sort of, she says. It's well, see this eventually. So she says, just don't be shocked. And she starts undressing.
I mean,
And,
less.
and basically, all over her body except for her hands and face, there is a pattern of spots,
She's a
dark
Lego.
spots. It's sort of like that, but I have been told it's too regular of a pattern to actually be vitiligo.
He'll gasp softly, and his hand will reach out. Ma'am?
No, go ahead.
He'll pass his hands over her skin, kind of trace the lines, smiling.
She kind of makes the. I'm trying to figure out how to describe his face. Like, it's not embarrassed or squeamish. It's actually a little bit pleased, but like she's trying to like not seem too pleased.
I get you. He smiles.
Do you want to see what I look like in my four-legged form?
Sure.
She takes a little while and shifts through her forms to Lupus, and in Lupus, she looks much the same. A base white coat of fur with black spots all over.
He'll slide to sit down on the floor and kind of dig his hands in her fur playfully and like pet her and stroke her face.
She licks his face.
He'll smile.
And then she flops down and rests her head in his lap.
I love the pattern on your skin.
Thank you.
I just have tattoos.
I like those. I just don't know how to make them look good with my skin.
Do you want to see mine?
Yes.
He'll shake his head and he'll pull his shirt off. And he'll kind of hook his thumb into the edge of his jeans and bare his hip. He has Rainbow Dash's cutie mark tattooed on his hip. And he'll blush and say, "That's for my niece."
She puts her front paw, one of her front paws, on the tattoo. She's feeling it.
It's actually his favorite tattoo, so she might feel the residual spirit of like love and compassion on it.
She makes a doggy-ish grin, a wolfish grin.
He'll pass his hands over his ribs where he has words with kind of almost like a Polynesian theme to it. Like you know how you'll get like tatau, like the way like Polynesians have.
Oh, like yeah, like their kind of tribal tattoos.
Yes, the base of it is that, but it also has words to it. The words to it are let me think. It's I'm trying to find the words to it in the language. 1 second. It says scroll you bastard. Oh, you thank you. It says, Oe Oe, we are explorers reading every sign. We tell the stories of our elders in a never-ending chain. Oe Oe, Tifana Timali, Tino Nako Hakile.
She just softly goes roof, and it seems like to be a respectful acknowledgement roof.
He'll smile and he'll say, it's lyrics from a song in Moana, the Disney movie.
And she nods her head, and then she starts shifting back to Hamid.
He'll smile.
I haven't seen it, though I think I've told you I don't have a lot of time for TV and movies.
We should watch it with me tonight.
Yeah? Okay. I'm fine with that.
He'll show her his forearm, where he has the words, basically the words, the only payoff to having any faith is when it's tested again and again every day.
She kind of scratches her head. She's like, that's, I'm gonna admit I don't get it.
Say it's from the song Immortals.
Sometimes. She looks really embarrassed. She's gonna be like, okay, please don't judge me, but I mean, I do pretty much live under a rock, so.
I'm not judging you. Don't worry.
Smiles. She's like, thanks.
He'll point at a coyote he has on his chest, like on one of his pecs. And I'll say, I got this one actually after I'll kind of chew his lip. I almost died last year. I got this one after.
Yeah. Does that have anything to do with you finding the part of yourself that's Jessica?
Oh, no. This was way long ago.
Oh.
Way long ago. I found Jessica not too long ago, actually. It was a couple months ago.
Cool.
But you want the straightforward answer?
Sure.
I tried to kill myself. I kind of look down.
Hey, no, it's okay. I understand. I mean, I don't, because I've never really felt like that, but I understand that sometimes people feel like that. I'm not going to judge you for it.
The only thing that saved me was the rage coursed through me when I was dying, and I came back from it. But it did something to my mind. I don't remember things like I used to. I don't. I have trouble with people's names, remembering stuff, things like that, birthdays, anniversaries. Hell, I forget my birthday half the time, except it's on Valentine's Day. I don't know what my husband's birthday is. He'll just shrug, like, and it seems like that's not funny to him. I think
She kind of frowns.
I think it's in July. I'm not sure.
Oh. I'm sorry. It must be difficult having that loss like that.
To be honest, Andre, I don't think anybody ever realizes that I'm dealing with that, but I also don't really say anything about it.
You know, you can tell me about that kind of stuff. I mean, you know, I'm not great at that, but I mean, I'm here for you.
I'll smile softly and hold his arms out to her again.
She comes into his arms.
I'll smile.
Hey, Jesse, can you keep a secret?
Always.
This is gonna sound really weird, but
I mean, circumstances withstanding. Sure, go ahead.
right, and it might come up someday. I just hope that you can let me tell her as opposed to you telling her. But I guess I want someone else to know in case I bite it with this Thunderworm mission. Sierra isn't just a tribe sister to me. She is literally my little half sister.
His brows go up.
Her mom is my progenitor because I can't call her mom. She was never in my life.
Oh.
And Sierra doesn't know, and I never told her because honestly, at our mom, her mom, for never being part of my life. My dad alone. And that's kind of hard when, you know, you have a single parent and they have to work all the time. They, you know, well, I mean, it's not my dad's fault or anything, but he could never find anyone to stay with him. I don't know. So I never had another parent. Kind of sighs.
As she's been talking, his fingertip, the fingertip of his middle finger has been like tracing along the edge of one of her patterns. Just listening to her.
You know, I shouldn't be mad about it, honestly, because it's probably, I don't know.
Why don't you not worry about what you should and shouldn't feel and just tell me how you feel? And he'll nod.
Well, I really like my little sister a lot. I'm really proud of her, and that makes me feel bad about being so mad at our shared person.
Your shared blood is exactly that. just shared blood. The relationships that form there, that comes with experience and time. And if you don't have that relationship, that's not on Sierra.
Exactly. It's not on her. And I don't want to be an asshole to her because of it. Because, like I said, I really like her and I'm proud of her. I mean, she outranks me and I really respect her for that. I know maybe a lot of sisters would be jealous, but I'm just nothing but proud. You know, and I didn't expect to feel like that, honestly, because, you know, the first time I saw her, I didn't want to have anything to do with her, but, you know, I've fucking hung out with her now, and it's really fucking cool. I mean, we have so much in common, too. It's weird. I mean, I guess it's not weird, but I mean, we're the same tribe, that's not so weird because we share blood. And
Mm-hmm.
we both like smoking pot. We both like playing D&D.
Yeah, I can tell you for sure she likes smoking pot. Me and her have smoked together many a time.
Which drives me crazy because I have this gift for her that I want to give her, and I haven't seen her this whole time. I have to track her down one of these days. I really think she'll like it. Did I show you the gift?
No.
Okay, let me show you. I'm kind of proud of it. She goes and she takes out a small jewelry box, and decorated with wings. And she opens it up, and there's what looks almost like a little Christmas tree in it, except that it's made out of conical joints arranged in a cone with a short blunt as the trunk. And on top, there's a gold star sticker, and around it, there's like holding it together. There's a tinsel string. She's like, I'm doing this for her.
Face lights up.
And we can't smoke this right now because it's hers. But I do have more than I used to make this. So if you want to smoke now, we can.
Hold on.
But yeah, that's my gift to her because she was the first person to smoke me up at this accept, and I want to give her back, and I think she'll like it.
Do you know what I want to do one day as an Umbral quest? He'll urge her to light up and get this going.
Oh yeah, no, she takes and she has another joint that she takes out, and she passes it to Jesse. Okay, you can start it.
He'll light it, and he'll drop the smoke in his mouth and wait. Petrova has on him, but he won't give it to anybody. He has on him this bud that looks holographic. This is the best way to describe it. Kind of
what? No way. Holographic bud.
He got it from Tambia. He said he went to the umbral reflection of Venus, which is said to be the greatest garden of Gaia, and he found Tambian.
Huh.
He'll nod.
Well, you've given me a goal. Both of us can work together.
I mean, I'm just saying, if we were gonna, as a pack, do something together, it's an Umbral quest, right? He'll nod, like, it's significant.
Yeah, that's true, and I need to learn the Umbra more. I'm not super familiar with it.
I mean, this is going into deep space.
That's kind of cool. I mean, you're right, it's a planet, so shit.
Exactly.
A planetary incarnate, right?
Oh yeah.
Shit. No, I'd like to come along for that for sure. especially considering we're all interested in what we're going to find there.
He'll take another deep drag. He'll actually look at her and ponder it for a moment. And he'll lean in, like with his lips like very lightly parted, holding the smoke in it.
She takes and gently cups his face in her hands and meets his lips, and I'm assuming that he wants to shotgun it.
Yes.
So she takes and breathes in.
When he finishes, he'll very lightly, kind of testing it, like press his lips to hers.
At first, she seems a little shocked, but she doesn't. She actually leans into it.
Oh, he'll hold it for a moment, enjoy it for a second, and then pull back and kind of smile.
She moves back and she looks at him with a really weird expression on her face, like she's confused, really confused. And she just shakes her head and shrugs.
He'll kind of half smirk and look down, embarrassed. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. And she actually darts in and gives him another peck on the cheek and squeezes him, like puts her shoulder around him and squeezes him. That wasn't as weird as I thought it would be. I guess every rule has its exception.
I mean, have you seen how gay I am? Like really?
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I mean, I don't know if you picked up on this, but pretty much my entire family is weird. My dad is the only straight person I know, and he's still not like, he's still queer. He's trans.
I don't know. Certain people make me a little less concerned about the labels and they'll just shrug.
I mean, I don't know. If I had to guess, it's not about your face or your body. Those are pretty nice. You know, either form you could take. You know, obviously, you know, I do slightly prefer one. I mean, sorry. But
Sure.
this is not as simple. I mean, I thought this would be something that might not work, and I think I might be wrong.
Wait, you were thinking about this in the first place? Kind of like blush.
Yeah, like since I met you,
Okay. Well, you learned
I
something.
mean, you may not have realized it, but you were a little flirty, and
About flirt with
you made
everybody.
me feel, yeah, what do you think? Made me feel nice about myself.
Oh,
I'm usually used to dealing with humans, and I scare the shit out of them because I'm so filled with rage. I mean, do you think I get a lot of dates? No.
no, yeah, no. I'm when I say I flirt with everybody, I'm not trying to minimize you or your beauty or what I'm not saying. I'm not saying that.
I know it wasn't like you weren't particularly doing anything special, like from your aspect, but for me, I really appreciated it.
Oh,
I don't know. That's kind of silly, I guess.
no, hey. It's not that. I feel very
Sorry, I'm
naturally comfortable.
probably embarrassing you.
No, not at all. It's that I'm very comfortable around you, and what I'm saying is that I trust you, and so I
Good.
can be undressed around you, touch you, share. I feel a bond of intimacy with you,
That's what I feel too.
and that
Okay.
bond is exceptionally and blessedly free of the right word I'm looking for here?
Weirdness? I don't know. It's probably not the word you're looking for.
Weirdness and the burden of definition.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, we can just be together without having to make it like, I don't have to marry you or date you or
Well, yeah, my husband would get pretty mad
anything.
if you got married. Yeah, he'll nod. Like,
I
yeah.
suppose it's not entirely legal for more than one person to get married, which has always seemed like kind of a shame to me because, I mean, it fails to acknowledge like so many people's intimacy. But that's just me. I mean, I feel like the more the merrier.
I got a couple people I'm intimate with.
Considering has inside of her right now, we kind of gathered you were. That was one thing actually that I was worried about. If we did anything, that it might upset Dazzles because I don't know. I don't want to get jealous or feel like she's being rejected because, um, she's pregnant. I mean,
I don't see why Dazzles should or would feel any more jealous or rejected by you than any of my other lovers.
okay. I just want to make sure I don't want to step on anyone's toes, I guess. I mean, he may have not noticed this about me, but I guess generally I try not to cause trouble with people. Mhm.
I mean, I'm a pretty laid back guy. It's kind of hard to cause trouble with me.
I'm pretty sure as far as my auspice goes, I'm pretty laid back. Mm. Things don't always make me mad like they make other people. I guess I have other emotions besides rage.
I'm not.
Right? The other day when you were here and you were talking about what happened to you, I mean, I don't know. Part of me feels like I should have been filled with rage, but all I wanted to do was just take care of you.
He'll lean his head against your chest and nuzzle.
That's his hair. Mm.
I try to stay out of the way a lot of times.
I understand that. But I've never really been able to do that well. I tend to insert myself into situations whenever I can. I don't know why. But I try to be, I don't know, I try to be reasonable so that people don't resent me for it. That
But
makes any sense.
your passion is so beautiful.
Think so? She smiles.
I know so.
I mean, I guess I did earn the evening because of it, so it's gotta be something.
He'll bite his lip and he's a little shy almost right now. He's kind of like, it's part of why I'm attracted to you.
She grins, she says, part of why you're what?
Attracted to you.
She grins wider and, like, tickles him a little bit.
The
Or
laugh.
tries to tickle him. She's like, good. It's nice to have people who actually appreciate. Like I said, most people, I mean, are just humans and it scares them. Though, I mean, it does help me get my way a lot of the time.
He'll smile.
But,
I just don't want to. That's all. I don't want to
No.
by you. I know I've got such a fucking spectrum of lovers. Some of them just want me to hold them and pet their hair and tell them that everything's going to be okay and it's wonderful. And physically, there's not much going on there. And then others just like to pin me down and fuck me like they hate me. I'll just shrug.
Hmm. Wow. Let's just say the jury is out on how we're going to approach those particular things. She grins, but I'm up for some exploration.
He'll cup her cheeks and I'll say the one thing that is most certainly decided is there is no pinning me down and fucking me like you hate me here. That belongs to one person, Daddy.
That's not really what I was thinking of doing in that vein anyway.
So the look on his face was that was clearly him expressing a boundary, and he agrees.
Yeah.
Like,
and she acknowledges it and says that face. She's just saying that's no problem.
yes.
That's not how I wanted to do anything with you anyway.
Yes, he's very much not that. Again, remember this has been a very recent and real problem for him.
Yeah.
But it's also like, highly adorable. This right here. Oh my god, this is so cute. But he'll blush and smile at her and kind of lean back.
Like, right now, I just, like you're saying, being held and holding you is pretty sufficient. Maybe some smooching, but
he looks relieved.
But I mean, I'm not ruling out other things later, I guess is what I want to say.
If things don't work out and I can't do things much more than, like you said, smooching, you won't take it personal, will you, or be offended?
She shakes her head, no. I mean, I might get a little sexually frustrated, but I'm not going to hold that against you. And right now, that's really not a problem. Don't worry.
Oh, he'll chuckle. I don't want to lead you on or disappoint you.
You won't. I'm really open to this. It's an exploration as it is, so I'm not going to try to define things like you said. I'm fine without that definition.
I'll smile gently and kind of. He relaxes. You can tell this isn't easy for him, but he wants to kind of see where things could go between them. So he does relax.
So I just kind of figured something out that I hadn't before. Like, I just want to make sure this is okay with you. Is it okay if I hang out with Tolia more? Or is that too weird, considering him? I mean, I know you're the one who introduced me to him, but I still don't want to.
I'm so confused right now, and you're going to have to elaborate.
Okay. Well, I realized who Rose is to Tolia, and I just don't want to make things complicated and weird by me spending time with Tolia. Though, I mean, I gather you don't have any negative feelings towards him, but still.
No, he'll shake his head. I'm okay.
Okay.
Didn't I introduce you to him?
You did. I just wanted to make sure. I don't know. I'm probably overthinking things.
He'll very gently and like kind of playfully kiss her neck. Almost to say you're overthinking. Calm down. And he'll just nuzzle her and he'll say, "It's okay. Don't worry."
Okay, good. Because I think he can really help me on my mission.
I'll nod.
I want to find out more about that, and she points to the axe. And he might be able to decipher the symbols on it. And that would be it would be helpful because then I could at least know something about it other than it feeling like it belongs to me, which is weird.
You know what, the way those things go, it either says something like really, really, really august and epic, like, you know, Silver Heels, son of blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, or it just says something silly.
Yeah, that or it says something like, you know, pork roast picnic.
Bloodthirster, or yeah,
Bloodthirster. Or it's not even like shoes.
shoes.
Somebody screwed up and wrote shoes on it, but I don't think so. Well, spirits don't tend to like to take homes like that. So I imagine it says something epic and beautiful. Kind of like the woman sitting right in front of me, but hey.
She literally blushes.
See that? That was flirting with purpose. So you know what it looks like. Look, grin at her.
Definitely got somewhere with that.
You've never had me sing to you.
I haven't.
Let's think for a moment. He'll pull his guitar over. Oh, you're in his room. He's in your room, actually. Well, we'll say
Yeah.
He very, very often has it with him, so.
I mean, it is the tool of the trade, so I can see that.
Exactly. Let's see if I can get a good song out of him for her. And he'll say, what kind of music you like?
Okay, this is probably weird, but, older rock, like, you know, like CCR and stuff.
He'll think for a moment. And I'll post a link for you later.
Okay.
But he'll do Dream On by Aerosmith.
She definitely grins and she claps.
I'm gonna roll to see how well he performed it for her.
Okay, yeah, if it's terrible, she might not grin and clap. She might like it from like, are you serious? Look.
Really don't think it's gonna be terrible. This man has a very large dice. Hold on, I'm trying to fucking calculate 1, 2, 3, 4. If he had a captivating charisma social specialty, do you think that counts? I think it does.
Yeah, no, that seems pretty, especially considering he has like a really intent audience to begin with.
Do you count his animal magnetism to be in effect?
I think that's reasonable, yeah.
What does animal magnetism do again? I can't remember.
I don't remember. I think it has something to do with
I think it lowers the
someone's
difficulty on shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I could either roll terribly, like a 1, or botch, and then you're like at Jessie, like, well, fuck. Or I'll roll like 3 and she'll be happy. That's why I wanted to roll social merits. Hurry up. I also never, ever, ever get to make this roll as a Galliard, and it drives me insane. So that's why.
I hate that.
Roll, please.
Like when you have your auspice roll and you want to roll it, but you can't
Yeah.
because there's no reason to.
So it takes off 2 from the difficulty. So.
Okay.
So. Am I in the right game? Yes.
I don't. Are you in the OC chat?
I am.
Okay.
I am. I have my changeling game.
Oh.
Also. So that's 9 successes. Actually 11. No, 10.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because I rolled a 10. So we're just gonna, for the sake of her mind, say he did very, 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 very well. But you see his Dream On. I'll post the link, and it's pretty much exactly how he did it. Same voice and everything. I have a singer I use for his voice.
Oh, nice.
But so yeah, he sings the song for her very deep and soulfully, and just he's really giving it to her. Do you know what I mean? I think that's probably where the bulk of the successes are coming from. He's not just playing for her; he's playing for her, like specifically her.
He has an audience of one, and he's utterly focused on that audience.
He is very focused on her and like singing for her. And when he finishes, he doesn't realize how well he did, to be honest. Like he's fucking performing.
She looks like fucking awestruck.
Yeah, and he'll set the guitar aside and smile at her. The smile's actually
she like blinks
overlay right now.
And shakes her head, and she's like, "Damn, that was amazing. I mean, I've literally never withheld anything that." He just blew my mind. Holy shit.
He'll blush and look down.
That is the single nicest thing anyone has ever done for me, by the way. So,
are you serious?
That means a lot to me. Yeah. I don't know if you figured it out, but I've been a loner most of my life. I mean, that's why I go climbing caves by myself.
He'll hold his arms up for her again.
She falls into them.
To clarify,
squeezes the shit out of him.
He'll chuckle into that. To be clear, by the way, I left a question for you in chat. If you wouldn't mind clarifying that question, I'd appreciate you.
Yes. That's how much.
Okay. Just wondering.
So bra and panties is what she has on.
Okay.
And socks, maybe? No socks.
He'll smile to her. Oh, he's just kind of searching her face, and he's got a very soft, relaxed look on his. He's comfortable.
She is looking into his eyes as if she's studying them.
Oh, very important fact, and it's something that's kind of noticeable about him, but she may not realize like the full of it. His eyes are blue. He is like a straight up, like full-blooded Native American person, but his eyes are very bright blue. It may be a situation where actually right now she's kind of noticing that his eyes are blue, but he has very crystal clear light blue eyes.
And her eyes are like a slightly darkish amber color or really light brown, depending on how you want to. Mm-hmm. It doesn't really show in the overlay. They look blue in the overlay, but it's just a shadow.
His hands will kind of like press to her back, and he'll pull her close to him, like in the hug, and just hold her very close and like nuzzle her chest.
She makes a soft booming noise. I'm like a human purring, I guess, that kind of thing.
I have to go soon.
A hum of. Okay. Oh, really? It's understandable though.
I know. I have to go for a little bit, and then I have to take care of something. It's actually a Galliard thing. I got to do something.
Okay.
I have to tell someone.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
that's cool.
How about I come back a little bit later, and we watch Moana together?
She nods. That sounds pretty good to me.
I'll bring snacks.
She grins. She's like, "You better." And I'll supply the smokables.
Right. That movie means a lot to me. So I'll kind of chew it up. Like it's like he's sharing something with her.
It's like a personal thing.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't watch Moana with just anyone.
Aww. Well, she isn't just anyone.
He'll kind of chance it and give her a very kind of a soft kiss, a little deeper this time.
She meets that kiss, and she gently runs her hand down the back of his head, stops between his shoulder blades. Just holds him.
After a minute, because goddamn, he doesn't want to break from that. He'll untangle himself gently, and he'll run his fingers through her hair and kiss her forehead. He'll pick his shirt back up and pull it back on, and slip his shoes on, and he'll smile down to her. I'll be back in a few hours.
All right, dear. Have the best luck with what you're about to do.
I have to do it for Patrick.
Oh, okay. Yeah. She looks not exactly irked, but she looks like kind of like sympathetic. Like she's like, oh, okay, yeah.
Have you ever seen the expression somebody has when they wholly and completely do not consider somebody to be of import, but they don't dislike them? Like they're just very neutral?
Yeah. Well, I make that face a lot. So.
Yeah, that's his look. His look couldn't be any more, which in and of itself says a lot. Like he appreciates him a lot. But he's also just a client. And he'll floof her hair and he'll head out. Did you want to meet the kitty or do you want to eat in the scene there?
Let's see. It's 1:43 right now. Hold on, let me ask Jess something.
Sure.
Okay, we're good. We're good for that.
Okay. So at some point while your character is kind of wandering through the house.
Yeah, she's actually looking for food because she's having got the munchies right now.
She sees a really cute. It's not a house cat. It's certainly not. But it's a big cat. It's just not a big cat. And he's kind of laying on the floor, just kind of like meh. Like he looks pissed with the world. You know, like when cats are lonely, but they look angry about it.
Yeah.
That's him right now.
I think she found some string cheese. I think that's what she's eating. And she's like, oh, hey, kitty. And she peels off a string of string cheese. She's like, you want cheese?
Well, he was laying on his back and he'll roll over and kind of go up on his hind legs. And it's one of those things where he almost looks desperate for it because he's a bubasti.
Yeah, they are always hungry, aren't they?
They literally can't refuse food that's offered to them.
Oh my god. I wasn't even thinking of that out of character. I seriously wasn't.
Yeah, so he's like, give me the cheese. And he'll just kind of
Okay. And she keeps taking pieces of cheese off to give him.
Nom 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 nom.
And when the cheese is all gone, which probably doesn't take very long, she hazards like a pet.
So it looks like on some level his soul is disappointed there's no more cheese.
Oh, pretty kitty. I'm sorry, that's all I had.
He flops. He'll just flop down onto his side, like, leave me here to die. Tell my tales, woman.
So she just shakes her head. Oh, silly. She also flops so that she's lying stomach towards him. Stomach towards stomach, I guess.
Mm-hmm. His tail will like do the flip-floppy thing.
You want to come with me to get more cheese, kitty?
He gets up.
She starts walking back.
So he'll jump into her arms. The problem is, again, remind yourself that this thing is about the size of a very large Maine Coon.
Yeah, so probably a good 40, 50 pounds.
He's somewhere in the 40 range, yeah. He's like a very large.
So, yeah,
like,
she definitely goes oof.
Yeah.
But she does her best to support him with both arms and carry him.
It's what he basically looks like is a melanistic savannah, basically. It looks like somebody has a savannah in the house. And he'll kind of crawl around her shoulders and like balance himself like this is my throne.
Better. It's easier to hold you up there. And it keeps my hands free for the cheese. She's clearly one of those people who talks to cats as if cats are people. And she gets back to the refrigerator, and then she takes the cheese out, and she starts peeling cheese and feeding it.
So he'll hop onto the counter. Remember that the last time he hopped onto the counter, Maurice violently removed him and shift to Hamid because he doesn't want to get his ass kicked. And he'll smile at her and open his mouth again. Like
she snorts. She's like, okay, I mean, you do have hands now. And she like takes and reaches forward with a string of cheese and dangles it into his mouth.
Nom, 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 nom. He is so fucking small. It's like a little shocking at first how small he is. He looks to be just a little bit over 5 feet tall. He's kind of not scarily thin, but painfully thin. He has a very dusky look to his pale skin, as though he's probably mixed with some sort of an Arabian or Arabic thing. And he's got very
some Middle Eastern blood.
Yeah, like a Middle Eastern like white mix. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And he's got very thick black hair, and she can tell that he's related to Tolia somehow. He looks like he's one of his descendants.
So, oh, you're so adorable.
At one point, while she's dangling and doing the cheese, he'll grab her hand, like he'll wrap his hands around her hands like a paw, and pull her hand into his mouth and chew her fingers.
She just flicks the inside of his mouth with her finger, like, no, stop that.
He'll pull his head back, like, sorry.
She's like, she just rolls her eyes. She's like, silly cat.
I need to remember that I'm in my human form right now.
Yeah, that helps. She's like, so what's your name?
Petra.
Oh, that's a pretty name.
My grandfather named me.
And who's your grandfather?
Tolia Petrova.
Well, she claps her hand. She's like, oh, lovely.
Though I was wondering if he was joking because he named me Petra Petrova. Furrow his brow like a dick.
That is a little punny of a name, yeah.
Oh, God.
So do you live here too? I don't think I've met everyone who lives here.
I'm only going to live here for one more day. And hold on. 2 more days.
Oh. Oh?
And then I'm going.
Why is that?
Because my mother has.
You're going home.
And I don't want to be around my sister. He hisses.
I understand. Family is not always the most, I don't know, wonderful of things.
He huffs and looks up like he is royally offended she exists.
Oh, there was just, sorry, I just saw a hella yaoi moment in the video game Jess is playing.
So he'll lay down and purr like and he'll say, I'm going back to my older brother.
Where's your older brother at?
He runs us up to Los Angeles. Stretch.
I've never been up there. I've passed through it a few times on my way down here, but oh.
I would ask
Well,
you
in
if
that
you
sense.
met me, but you just met me.
Well, I mean, that does sound fun. I just worry that people would expect me to stay around here, so I do have duties as it is. That wouldn't be bad. I do have a date tonight, though.
He, like, fucking Boston Tea Party. He sits up like, spill that tea. He wants to know all your secrets.
She's
Just meowing again softly, like, you have a date?
So there's something you're more hungry for than she is there?
Yes. Will not.
she grins and chuckles. Must know I am going to be spending some time with Jessie.
He falls off the counter and flops on the floor.
She just shakes her head and smiles at him, looking down at him. It's like, oh, you're so sweet.
Oh, so lucky.
I think so too. Jessie is a wonderful person, in my opinion, and I'm lucky that he shows some interest towards me.
You seem like a very capable and beautiful woman, and I know my grandfather favors you. Will not. Yes.
You discussed me before?
No, I just eavesdrop in everything he says.
That's fair. We somewhat hit it off, I think. We have some common interests, and that goes a long way. I certainly am looking forward to seeing your grandfather again as soon as possible.
He says you remind him of Mari Cabra.
She just, like, blushes. She's like, I'm sure he's exaggerating.
Don't know him to be a very exaggerative man.
Just like, well, yeah, that's pretty flattering, and honestly, she chuckles nervously.
He'll purr.
So, strapping, what do you like to do?
Hunt, kill mice, sleep, sex, a little bit of drugs, and school.
Oh.
And he'll nod. I'm only 16. Huh. There are only so many habits I can have in one time. I'll just shrug.
That's true. I remember you being your age. School kept me extremely busy. When are you looking to go to college?
Why would I do that? I'm a little confused.
There's a lot of things you can learn there. I mean, if you just want to get away from school, though, I certainly understand.
I have people to take care of me. Why would I need to do that?
To intellectually stimulate yourself? That's why I went.
He'll blink as though he doesn't quite understand.
She reaches forward and taps his head. Do fun things with your brain.
I do many fun things with my brain.
Fair enough.
I don't think they teach you how to kill people in college.
I mean, it depends. I mean, there's the ROTC, but I don't think that would be really well suited to Shifter.
He'll shake his head. No.
No, I do know that some colleges offer martial arts classes, and that's potentially applicable.
Blinks. As though he needs it explained to him even further, but it probably shouldn't be why you should ever consider going to human college.
It's like, I like to study ancient things myself.
I have a question.
So, Yes.
Why do you go to college to do that?
Well, I haven't received much support from people to pursue that out of college, and I, at one point in time, thought that I would be leading expeditions throughout the world, but it seems like that's not going to happen in school. I feel like I'm going to be stuck being a teacher's assistant forever, which is pretty shitty because I should at least be an associate professor soon.
This was the best person for you to say that to. I'm so happy you said this. He'll wrinkle his nose and he'll furrow his brow. Why are
She
you not
raises not where?
why are you not an associate?
An associate?
He'll scratch his head and he'll like assistant associate. What is it you want to be?
I mean, I would like to pursue archaeology and find very old things and discover what they are and what their cultural significance to the people who owned them was.
And why can't you do that?
Well, generally that takes a lot of funding, tools, and teams of people to assist with. I've done a little bit of it on my own with some success, but at the same time, there is also legal considerations of removing artifacts from places.
How much money do you need?
I mean, it really depends on where I'm going and what I'm researching. Right now, my most pressing concern is traveling further underground. So I have climbing tools for that. I have some archaeological tools.
Because you want to fight the Thunderworm.
Yes.
Why?
I do want to. Why do I want to fight the Thunderworm?
Yes.
I think that would probably be best for safety if it was dealt with.
He'll stop and he'll put his paws on her chest. He'll go specifically back to Feline just to do it. He'll put his paws on her chest. And then like boop her face all over and sit again. But why?
I was born to protect people.
But who are you protecting? What is the Thunderworm?
Well,
So it's creating earthquakes. But what is it doing?
digging.
Which is doing what?
No. I mean, from a geological standpoint, it would destabilize the ground where it lives. But, oh no. Oh
what I
no.
don't understand is why this entire sept is getting ready to attack a creature what is not being offensive. Solely and only because it is, and he'll quote, of the worm. There are things in this world.
Well, I mean, that is what Guru do. I mean, it's one of our laws
It is,
to
but
combat the worm wherever it dwells.
well, think. It says combat. That does not necessarily mean that one must combat through warfare. And
well, what did you have in mind?
I would suggest leading and leading it to a place where there is other forms of corruption. Balance.
You're saying make use of its destructive capabilities.
He'll nod.
It's an interesting idea.
Right
We
now,
just have to find such a place. Right now, what?
right now you're seeking to destroy it. But it is a force of destruction. A purr.
Why not make a tool out of it and use it for its intended purpose? I see what you're saying.
Do you know where you could lead it?
That is something I'm wondering.
I know where you could lead it. And he'll wrinkle his nose. But it's a secret.
Okay, are you willing to tell me your secret? I know you're probably quite covetous of secrets,
Tilts his
seeing
head.
as you're of the feline variety.
Hmm. How about we trade my secret for one of yours?
Are you going to be as covetous with this secret as you are with most secrets?
I do not trade other people's secrets. They are mine. They are my treasures.
Then yes, I am willing to tell you a secret.
Which one first?
I will tell you my secret.
He'll put his chin on his fist and listen.
She looks around and listens carefully to make sure no one's eavesdropping. Do you want me to make a perception check or?
Nah, go ahead, whatever. It's fine.
Okay, she says, I have a little sister who lives on the set, but she doesn't know she's my little sister. Her name is, well, her name is Sierra, but she goes by Lays with Dragons.
His lips make a little O, like, oh, that was a good secret.
I thought you might like that.
There have been many wildfires lately. And there have been large tracts of land that have been burned to the ground. Ground which has become now rich with wild energy.
Huh. That's interesting. Would you describe that as a negative thing?
Have you ever seen what happens when the wild runs rampant?
I can only imagine that it must be somewhat chaotic.
One thing that you wolves always make the mistake of, and he'll take his hand like a paw and kind of bap around the forehead with it,
She raises an eyebrow.
is you confuse the wild, W-Y-L-D, with W-I-L-D.
And how would you propose that I not make such a confusion?
Understand that Y and I are not the same. Blink, like,
Well, obviously, they're not the same word literally.
but they are not the same.
I don't think they're the same. The wild is the force of creation. The wild is simply the body of Gaia.
He'll stop and ponder that for a moment. Hmm. I don't think I agree, but I don't know how to argue you. And he'll shake his head. I
Do
think
you know how to express your opinion on it? Because I'm curious what you're thinking.
you wolves see things differently than we do. Your version of Gaia, though we respect the mother, we also understand that the triad, no aspect of it, is good or bad. They are just force, like Gaia. The worm, the weaver, and the wild to us, they're not bad, including Father Worm. Asura is what is bad. That is corruption. Corruption can be performed by all members of the triad.
Yeah, so I was actually thinking about Weaver corruption quite a bit recently.
I think weaver corruption is more a danger to humanity than worm corruption.
I'm
But
starting to consider that myself.
she can tell if he had his tail out, it'd be flipping, like the way cats flip when they're thinking. But if you lead the thunderworm to a place where there has been much wildfire recently, much destruction, then it will till the earth and it will promote new growth.
That's what you're saying.
Well, not.
It's a very interesting and creative idea, and I like it.
In being used as a force for good, it could drive out the host thing. What do you call them? Black spiral dancers that could be living inside it.
Yes. It is a necessity, and we will have to drive them out at some point.
You're not going to corrupt the land that has been burned to the ground more than it already is. It is already touched by Father's destruction. And again, Father Worm is not the enemy. He is not the one who creates corruption. Corruption is just corruption. And there is Weaver corruption, and Worm corruption, and Wild corruption. And sometimes even Gaia's forces can become corrupt. He looks at her pointedly, Garu.
She just raises an eyebrow. She's like, oh, sadly, you're right about that.
I think that when one stops looking at the worm as a scapegoat, as a source to channel their rage, they find the world a little bit freer. And he'll kind of lay down and like on the counter and just stretch out. But be careful who you say that to. There are many who consider us to be worm cats because of that.
And the opinion you express is heresy to some. I find it fascinating, personally, because I want to be more effective, not more right in the ways of tradition. It makes sense to you. I want to get what needs to be done. I don't want to be bound by stereotypes and prejudices. Also, I certainly don't think you're a worm cat. That's absurd.
Although I do venerate Father Worm, I do not serve him solely.
Venerate as in respect?
Of course. I respect the worm.
The worm is powerful. It would be foolish not to have respect for the worm.
I do not see the worm as my enemy. And he'll kind of, he looks as though he's leaving things out.
But is the worm your ally?
He gets almost the ghost of a smile and purrs.
You already shown me one way that the worm could potentially be useful to Gaian forces. And in my opinion, this is not a very popular opinion among the Garou. In my opinion, the Garou are... we express ourselves in a wormish manner, in that we are often destroyers ourselves, and as much as we might not want to admit it, I don't see what would take and encompass the aspect of the one more than destruction.
He tilts her head, looking at her, listening. And it seems as though he settled on something. Like he came to a decision. And he'll smile.
She just looks at him and then reaches forward to boop his nose.
He'll nuzzle her hand. I'm tired. I'm going to nap.
Very good. It's nice meeting you. Hopefully we can meet again in the future and you can discuss your philosophy with me more. Well, I suspect your grandfather might have some things to tell me as well.
It's my weakness, old people.
And he'll close his eyes in that cute little quiet way, as though she has no idea what she just said, and he'll lay back down. It looks as though he's going to snap on the counter.
She rolls her eyes and smiles, and she says, "I'll leave you to your rest, but I will ponder what you've said, and then we'll discuss it with the people I trust the most."
He'll purr. And he'll give her a kittenish wave. So, for a bit of ending narration, if you don't mind.
Oh no, it's fine.
After Andrea leaves, when Petra is sure she's well and gone, he'll roll over and he'll get up. And he'll pad his way through the manor. And he'll go to a room and he'll kind of push the door open with his head. He's in his cat form. And he'll slink over, and his grandfather's in there. Toya's sitting at a table, writing some things down. And Toya will look down at him and smile. And Petra will jump onto it. And he'll shift to Hamid sitting on his lap, and he'll tilt his head and he'll say, Fury's heart, I think it is. He'll tilt his head. I don't know your names. And Toya will nod and smile. You should keep an eye on her. Well, and he'll smile, and he'll touch his wrist. And Toya will think for a moment and tilt his head. And he'll smile, and he'll say, I will. And with that, we can end our scene. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching.